Okay, audience time. Remember, just come up, name your name and address, and then you have 3 minutes. Okay, Linda Ryckman. Linda Ryckman. Oh, okay.
It was a little over a year ago.
Linda, I need your address.
Oh, I'm sorry, 420 Lawn Court. Linda Ryckman. It was a little over a year ago that the Park District Board announced its decision to build soccer and baseball fields at Orchard Hills instead of at the former John Mansville site. From the beginning, I've been opposed to this decision for many reasons, but primarily because of the concern for the safety of our children and young adults who will be using the Orchard Hills site, including environmental concerns relating to the former golf course. In February, we asked that the Park District do appropriate testing of the site prior to moving any dirt. We noted the former Timber Trails Country Club golf course in Western Springs, a 104-acre, 77-year-old golf course which required remediation due to pesticide and herbicide applications made to the course. The remediation began in 2005 under the guidance of the IEPA, and to date, over $5 million in remediation costs have been incurred, and the developer still has not received its no further remediation letter, allowing it to begin development of the golf course parcel. Levels of arsenic 30 times the acceptable IEPA levels were found at the course. This alone gives an idea of the scope of the environmental problems and issues which can be expected to be encountered when redeveloping historic golf courses. A reasonable person would expect that an 83-year-old golf course, such as Orchard Hills, located within 50 miles of and being 7 years older than the Timber Trails course, would have been treated with similar pesticides and herbicides and is likely to have many, if not all, of the same problems. This opinion is not shared by the Waukegan Park District, however, which has maintained from the beginning that there are no environmental issues at Orchard Hills. Despite these facts and concerns, when the Park District did its soil testing at Orchard Hills, it performed only 12 soil samples on the 135-acre site, compared to 407 samples at the Western Springs course on 104 acres. Additionally, according to an IEPA technician, the small number of samples was not the major flaw of the report. The major flaw was that samples should have been taken from 3 to 6 inches below ground level instead of at the 3-foot depth used by the Park District report. Because of this concern, the Village of Wadsworth asked the IEPA to review the Waukegan Park District report and answer several questions, including whether the Park District's testing was adequate enough to determine the environmental status of the Orchard Hills Golf Course, and, based on the report's findings, does the IEPA have any concerns regarding the movement of dirt to transform the former golf course into an outdoor sports complex? Thomas Rivera, Project Manager of Field Operations Section, Bureau of Land for the IEPA, responded with a memo and letter. The September 23rd memo notes that further testing could take place, suggesting that it be done at a depth of 3 inches.
Linda, 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Okay, let me wrap that up. In the letter dated October 27th, Mr. Rivera wrote that the Park District's environmental report was presented to the IEPA as part of its site remediation program. The sampling and testing that was presented does not appear to be sufficient to meet the requirements of a site investigation. He goes on to say, without a sufficient site investigation, I would be unable to comment in any detail on possible concerns regarding construction activities at this site. If the IEPA cannot determine the environmental status of Orchard Hills, how can the Park District make such a statement? Because of the Park District's failure to do adequate testing, I'm asking the City of Waukegan to rescind the Waukegan Park District's exempt status and amend its ordinances to require the Park District to meet all the permitting requirements required of any developer. I'm also requesting that the City enact an ordinance which would require appropriate environmental testing as a precondition to development of properties which the City determines are likely to have environmental issues.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Normally we don't do this, but I'm going to give the City Clerk, Wayne Motley, the same privilege for a rebuttal of 3 minutes. Go ahead.
I'd like to say that Linda Ryckman is a liar. My name is Wayne Motley, 3124 West Newcastle Court. Linda Ryckman is a liar. Linda Ryckman is trying her damnedest to discredit the Park District.
City Clerk, please. No derogative reports towards anybody.
Okay, Miss Ryckman is misinformed.
That's better.
Ms. Ryckman is trying to discredit the Park District. We have done everything in our power. Hamilton is our architect. Hamilton has a clean bill of health from the EPA. She is trying her darndest to do and say anything she can to stop the progress of the sports complex. She was here Friday trying to get us to stop taking the trees down. The ordinance allows the Park District, the Forest Preserve, and the IDOT to take trees down when necessary. We are not run by the City of Waukegan, and I wish the City of Waukegan would not get involved in Park District business. We stay out of Waukegan's business. I would hope that you would stay out of our business. This project has been on the planning stage for 8 years. This project is going to be beneficial to the 90% of the citizens of Waukegan. It will affect the golfers, and they're crying like little babies. At some point, they're going to have to stop that. This project is for the city of Waukegan, and it doesn't benefit Linda Ryckman or Jim Soroka, and they're here whining about it. So, Linda, get a life.